Greetings, peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. This is my second video. The first one I did for tomorrow, completely wrong. Had to start over, deleted it and everything. So it happens. I feel like I'm very sort of off my center. I'm in preparation to do a plant medicine ceremony with girlfriends tonight. And I feel very vulnerable, and I'm like, my childhood stuff is present, and it's been really interesting because before I talk about this, Venus, today's a Venus day. Venus is the day that I ask for donations. So if you benefit from the work that I do, if what you get here is adds value to your life, I am asking that you either leave a message here to say thank you or to share what it is that you get from the work that I do, or you can donate. You can donate any amount at Cash App, and my Cash App is $Monique Ruffin, or my Venmo is @Monique Ruffin, @Monique-Ruffin. And the reason that I ask for donations on Venus Day is because Venus is about reciprocity, it's about value, it's about money, it's about relationship. So what we're doing here is we're building value, we're building relationship. We are using these astrological guidances to restore ourselves, because Venus is about restoration, right? And so Venus today is at the 23rd degree of Aries. Venus has been zooming through Aries. And I also want to, before I go into that, to invite you to register for the Rebirthing the Authentic Self course. The Rebirthing the Authentic Self course is designed to assist you or participants in using and using the energy of Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius to bring forth the blueprint of who we are. Who were you before you conformed, before you started working to fit in, before you believed what the world said, right? We take on these identities oftentimes based upon what our parents want for us, or what the community or what the world says is available. And I know, like, for instance, if the world said that I could have grown up to do magic, then I would have studied magic in school. But instead, somebody looked at me and was like, "Oh, you talk a lot. You should be an attorney." And so I studied those kinds of things, but that's not really who I was. So I had to put aspects of myself away to become something else. And the work of this class, Rebirthing the Authentic Self, is about removing all the things that you have put in the way that are blocking you from being yourself. So this week we're going to have Lene Denise, who is a DJ, a world-known DJ, who has made a living based upon her own personality, based upon what she loves, based upon who she is. And she's going to be with us this week teaching, how do you do that? How can you create a career based upon your passion, based upon the things that you believed in as a child? I know the work that I do now is that. Like, I have a career teaching people how to access their magic, access their abilities, access their innate gifts that are spiritual in nature. And being able to do the thing that I love, that I was born with naturally, gives me such great joy and fulfillment. And the more we can lean into the things and do the work that is our soul's work, the better off the world will be, and the better off we will be, because we're actually giving what we're here to give, and we're not coming out of our comfort zones. We're not, and it's not that we're not coming out of our comfort zones. We are not taking on the identity of the Western world and fueling that system. We want to begin to fuel the system that is your soul's agreement. So Venus is the planet of restoration and love and beauty and the sensuality and the way we relate to one another and money. And Venus is at the 23rd degree of Aries. And this energy is about one thing. It's about loving yourself. It's about putting yourself first. It's about really giving yourself permission. Venus also governs the feminine. And the thing that I'm aware of for myself is, can I give myself permission to stop accommodating others, even for a moment? even for one opportunity, just to be with, what is it that I'm really doing? One of the things that I've watched generations, my grandmother and, many, many women sacrifice themselves for their children, for their husbands. And at the end of the day, they end up empty and depleted. Like they get to be 65, 70 years old and they don't feel good because they have not given to themselves. Venus in Aries says, put yourself first, give to yourself only. No one else exists and no one else matters. And the feminine, if the feminine can access this power within her that allows her to put her attention on herself, because the feminine is the source of all life. So if we can, I like to say, the feminine putting herself first is the difference between wanting a diamond and realizing that you are the diamond mine, because that is what is true. It's like this energy of understanding that I am the source of all things, that I have the capacity to give birth to the most valuable commodity there is, human beings. My thoughts, my mind creates the material reality. So, the building I live in may have been constructed by men, but those men were all birthed by women, right? So when whatever we put into ourselves that comes out is always an extension of the feminine. Everything is an extension of the feminine. So if the feminine could just come to an energetic standstill where she is just honoring herself and not looking to see what she can do for another or how she can be for another or what another needs from her or her even need for another. Like really, I'm asking myself, can I source the fullness of my power without needing to look to anyone else? What am I? What can I do in and of myself? And recognizing that the power of the feminine is connected to the source of all things. We give birth to everything that is. And what does that mean for you individually and personally? So Venus at the 23rd degree is randomness, right? It's like really understanding that the universe and all of its kaleidoscope of colors and sounds and experiences and things, that there is the X factor in that, right? There is the thing that is random. It's like really, doing for me, I do my work and then I say, okay, I'm going to open myself up to surrender and release my desires to the universal divine mother that is the creator of all things. Use me. How can I be used? And the randomness is trusting that the way that you will be used is in service to something greater than yourself, is in service to yourself and something greater than yourself. If you can truly be focused and good to yourself, that will be good for others. And you can allow that experience, it's like, like when you know that you're fulfilled, when you know that you're full, when you know that you feel contained and good, then you can trust that what's going to come from that is valuable. And the moon today is in Pisces, and Pisces is our subconscious. It's the creativity within us that we've not tapped into yet, that we've not brought out of the unseen and into the material world, right? And this moon in Pisces is also trusting the work that I've done, trusting the goodness of God, trusting the intelligence of the universe, trusting that all things work together for good, trusting that I am exactly where I'm supposed to be and I have exactly what I need at all times, and I can trust that what comes from this is exactly what needs to come from this. So with that, I am going to spend the rest of the day with my girlfriends. We're going to be doing a medicine ceremony. I'm feeling very vulnerable and very tender, but that Sun in Aries, Venus in Aries, Mercury in Aries has brought me back to my childhood, to the most vulnerable experiences of my life. I'm very much today sort of grieving a long-term relationship that ended a year ago and seeing that relationship for how I showed up in it. And remembering, the places in my childhood, because this energy of all of the sun, Mercury, and Venus, all in Aries, is asking us to restore ourselves at the core level, right? And that's what Venus is. So it's like, you know, the ways that I wasn't seen as a child, like I experienced a great deal of neglect in my childhood. So now I'm beginning to restore what I perceived as neglect. I'm beginning to restore what I perceived as misfortune or poverty or abuse, or all of those things that I told myself were wrong in my childhood. I'm looking at them from a new perspective today. And so I'm feeling a little vulnerable. So I'm going to ask you guys to send me love. Because I'm in the midst of a transformation that is deep, and I'm feeling a lot of sadness today. So I thank you all for your donations. I thank you for your love. Thank you to all the new people that are here. It is my pleasure to be of service to you. Just know that in this space, when I'm vulnerable, I tell the truth about how I feel. And so because it is my intention to pattern that it is good for us to be vulnerable, good for us to show forth the spaces that are tender, that hurt, that are sad, and because we have to see it in order to heal it. So with that, I am the Moon Mama. I love you. Have a great day. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.